I know I'm a few days late, but did you hear Rob Reiner and his wife was murdered by their son, stabbed to death specifically while he was drug induced? And Donald Trump rightfully mocked his death because all of Hollywood, they've been doing this very same thing to him. I mean, never forget, Peter Fonda, before he died, wished that Trump's underage son was thrown in the hands of illegals and raped. And following that, guess what Hollywood did? They memorialized him and talked about how much of a great actor he was after he died. So this is most definitely an industry that he should have utter contempt for, whoever dies within that industry while he's president. And quite frankly, I wish he used the Rob Reiner situation as an opportunity to use his Justice Department to investigate Hollywood for their decades-long activities as far as sex crimes against children and sex trafficking involving children. Because Rob Reiner's son is just the latest example of the open secret of how disturbed Hollywood kids are. Whether they're kids entering Hollywood and they get cycled in and spat out. Another one was found homeless and disheveled. Or whether they be Hollywood slave kids that are born within that cult who are, again, usually disturbed. Steven Spielberg's daughter or stepdaughter, or no, adopted daughter that went into prostitution and they supported her sex work. Lawrence Fishburne's daughter that went into pornography. The whole host of children and the disturbing amount of them that become trans within the Hollywood cult because they're pushing that agenda. I mean, it's been a known thing that a lot of these Nepo babies, Hollywood kids who really don't have anything to live for because they've been given everything are drug addicts who get to travel the world and indulge in their criminal activity, in other parts of the world. And even in the USA, because, they regularly get let off with light charges. And then another thing that this murder exposed is that there was a roast well over a decade ago where they were having a laugh about sex crimes, incestuous sex crimes. We had Billy Crystal, Al Franken making jokes about Rob Reiner's father passing him around and raping him, and insinuated that very same thing is a tradition within the Reiner family. So no one should be shocked why Nick Reiner was disturbed. It's an open secret. It's been an open secret. But the fact of the matter is, most people don't care. Especially as long as they get their Hollywood entertainment product, they don't care. Just like the James Gunn situation. I mean, these people routinely like to quote unquote joke about child rape. And then when you watch older movies like True Lies and you hear Billy Paxton's character talk about Jamie Lee Curtis's character backside, reminding him of a 10-year-old boy. I mean, there's so many instances in older movies and in even current movies like the movie Cuties, produced by Netflix, where you have blatant child pedo advocacy. And so, to me, most definitely calmer when it comes to the Rob Reiner situation, because while he wanted to fearmonger about Trump, he should have been worried about his own disturbed child that he helped raise in this criminal cult known as Hollywood, who literally confess their crimes through their own media. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that particular situation. Don't blame Trump at all for mocking his death. because those people deserve to suffer the consequences of the bullshit that they push and advocate for. Because guess what? If a drug-induced murder happened elsewhere outside of Rob Reiner, outside of Hollywood, the Rob Reiners of the world would be advocating not to punish that mentally ill young man. Put him in a facility where they can rehab him from drugs, restorative justice and all. So he got what he deserved. He got what he asked for. He got what he advocated for. And again, I wish Trump highlighted the disturbing history of Rob Reiner and jokes about incestuous child sex abuse within his family, and use that as an opportunity to use his Department of Justice to investigate them. Because if anybody deserves those RICO charges, it's Hollywood.